All right. Hello, everyone. So, yeah, I'm back after 2 weeks. I think it's been about 2 weeks. And, actually, let me just turn this on for a little bit more light here. Yeah, I think it's been about 2 weeks since the last one, maybe three. But, anyways, a couple things have happened since then. So, the last, I guess the week after I did the Hannah Rauch and Kira Sung match. Um, our cat ended up. Well, I'll just put her on screen. Our cat ended up being really sick. Um, she was she was a pretty old cat, so we had when we moved into our new place, we took her to the animal hospital to actually get her checked out because she wasn't pooping or anything. That's when we sort of found out that she had uh, kidney kidney disease. Yeah, kidney disease. Um, and yeah, she got a little bit better for a while, but mm, I guess I would say the last month or so, she wasn't eating a lot, and we had decided to take her to the animal hospital again, just to do some tests. So I think the week before I did the Hannah that last study session, we found out that she also had a what was it, liver cancer. Um, so we knew that she didn't have too long to live. Um, in between just that 1 week, I guess it was a week and a half, that we saw her deteriorate quite a bit. Um, she was having trouble. Well, she wasn't eating, so we had to force feed her some food and later on water. She was only really sleeping and laying on the ground most of the time. And then I guess on Thursday night after I got home, about 2 weeks ago, I ended up staying up as long as I could. I think it was maybe 1 or 2 in the morning. Actually, maybe I went to sleep a little bit earlier that day. Yeah, she was having trouble standing. She couldn't really um, move around. Every time she would stand, she would just like fall over. And the only reason like she would stand was to move to another place to get more comfortable. But every time she did, she'd like fall over, and it was a hard thing to watch. When I went to sleep that night, I sort of knew that she was gonna pass away already, um, and she did in the morning. So Friday, after I got home, Friday night after I got home, stayed up pretty much the entire night. Um, just sitting across from her and yeah, just waiting until the animal hospital opened so we could drop her off uh, and have her cremated and stuff. And then last Friday, we actually got her remains back and decided to pick a picture that we liked. It wasn't this one, but you can see how cute she is here. But yeah, I did want to stream because of that. I knew I wouldn't be too focused about what was happening, so yeah, I just took some time off to do that. Yeah, but anyways, so oh, why isn't it? Oh, here it is. Right, so to get back into today, we're gonna watch another Hannah Rauch match. This time she's actually fighting at lightweight. So let's see. So from, I think you can see this, yeah. If you can see this here, here is the weight for females at the middleweight, so that's 69 kilograms, 152.1 pounds. Okay, and now that was her previous match. This time she's fighting at 64 kilograms, so that's about 10 pounds, 11 pounds lighter. We're gonna see if that helps her, because sometimes when athletes go down a little bit, their performance actually ends up slipping. That's either because they don't naturally walk around at that weight and just try and get down to believe that they feel a bit stronger, I guess would be the best way to say it. But because they cut so much weight, sometimes it actually affects their strength. They're not able to pull the same amount of energy out of their body. Some people do this really well, especially because the IBJJF, you have to weigh in, like, I think you still have to weigh in like right before your matches. So if you are still over the day of, excuse me, there are a lot of people that will just like keep trying to weight cut on the day, and then, excuse me, while they're weight cutting on that day, they suffer from like performance loss. So yeah, I would normally say just try and fight at a weight that you're close to walking around in, if you're training constantly, because then you won't have to worry about any variation in your performance. But anyways, it's yeah, let's just get right into this one. So you can see black belt division. This is from the Houston Open. I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Once again, I think the woman in the what happened there? Yeah. So I think the woman in the black key is Hope, and the woman in the white key, I can't see her face around, is Hannah. So Hope tried to go for a guard pull there. I think I mentioned this last time. Before you could sit down, in the rule set, before you could sit down, before you had any grips established. So you can see that Hope tries to grab and then sit down. She kind of had a grip established, but she didn't really pull her into a guard or anything, so standing up is a better decision. And there she goes again, changing levels. Yeah, that is Hannah. Yeah, she does look a little bit thinner from her last match. The last time we saw her, anyways. Again, so it looks like Hope's game plan is going to be to try and pull her into a guard, but which guard, I'm not sure. Oh, she goes inverted. That's interesting. Normally I haven't seen someone go inverted as they're pulling guard. Inversions I don't think we saw a lot of in the last match. Let's just take this. So what I mean by inverted is instead of a roll where your hips still stay on the ground, inversion is when your hips and your head, like your hips go directly over top of your head and you're rolling across your shoulders instead of like your entire back. It's very difficult for beginners to do this, just because they don't really know how to orient their body, orient their hips over top of their head when they do the roll. So most of the times it looks like they're doing like a log roll. Yeah, it can be quite funny sometimes. So doing, I think I did a video actually going over how to start doing inversions. If you guys want to check that out. So you can see there she goes. She tries to go inverted, but she gets her into a guard. One arm is one of Hannah's arms is underneath that left leg. The other one looks like Hope got her leg in front of Hannah's left shoulder. So it's not double unders, but it's like one under, and then the shin is on, maybe on the hip, or just trying to frame across the shoulder of Hannah here. You can see she's trying to drive in quite a lot of pressure, make sure that hip is turned away from her. The more you can turn the hip away from you, the more the legs will be oriented away from you, making it easier to pass. So that's why she's turning this way, because she's already established like pressure on that knee, so it makes it very difficult to extend. And like, yeah, I'll talk about that a little bit later, cause so you can see here she's in this A position again. Sometimes when you get into this position, your opponent's hips are actually directly underneath your hips, like around, I would say here, making this type of stance like more susceptible to attacks like triangles or arm bars. Here Hannah's doing a good job of keeping her hips back and driving forward with her shoulders instead, making sure that Hope doesn't get underneath her, right? So all her weight is being directly applied to the shins rather than all her weight being on her hips. He's trying to fight for, yeah, it looks like she's trying to push that leg. off to the side a little bit more and start turning again. Hope is doing a good job of just tracking that arm, making sure she's not able to get around. So every time Hannah's moving, just trying to stabilize the position. Hope is trying to stabilize the position, making sure she just uses her body structure to deal with the pressure. A lot of the times you don't need a lot of force to just hold somebody there, like Hannah is doing, or just stop someone from putting too much pressure, because your bones will end up taking a lot of the pressure themselves. If you've seen people that do acro yoga, you can consider it kind of like bone stacking. So she's just trying to stack her knees over top of her chest, so her shins are dealing with the brunt of the force, and her hips and her shins are dealing with a brunt of the force rather than her hands are. And Hannah tries to go back the other way. Oh. Oh. So now you see how she had her foot. So I think this is her foot here. So that's Hope's foot. She's pushing that on the head. Right? So the more Hannah turns, the more that foot is going to come across towards the head to maybe force her, like just using another frame up against her. So yeah, it's been there the entire time. So Hope notices this and then replaces that leg from the head to the hip. She went, there it goes. Now she's grabbing behind the belt. Maybe she'll try for a sweep towards that side. Because she has this other leg underhook, not underhook, but underneath Hannah's upper body, she can exert quite a lot of force if she does a kick here. One way to do the scissor sweep, if I've talked about that before, is instead of scissoring the bottom legs across, you push the bottom knee so that the person's hip starts extending, and that causes the hips to like rotate down towards the ground, and you're able to flip them over. We'll see if she goes for that here. She grabs the back of the belt, maybe to set a sweep up. But Hannah's just doing a good job of like putting that downward pressure and making sure there's not a lot that Hope can do. And she's even grabbing the back of the pants here to make sure she's not being disconnected or thrown off of her. This is really not a comfortable position for Hannah. Even though she's driving forward, she has to deal with like knee. Oh, it comes around. So now she has more of a double under position. So Hannah has more of a double under position. So let's go a little bit slower for that one. So you can see she keeps driving forward. The ref's in the way. And then Hope gets the foot underneath the neck. Okay, there's not much you can really do with this other than really kick. But now you can see she puts it over top of the head, giving her a lot of downward pressure on the neck. Hannah does have the double unders position here with both hands underneath the thighs, grabbing around the hip. So this one is still grabbing on the pants, as you can see. The other one is grabbing around the front of the hip. I think her head is still trapped, so it's quite a lot of pressure on the neck. Yeah, her head is still trapped underneath Hope's hips. It's a good yawn from the ref there. He's probably been there for a few hours, if not the entire morning. This is interesting. Hope is trying to like stand up here. Hannah's trying to prevent that by grabbing the pants. Those are spats, by the way, so yeah. Don't demonetize me for that. Yeah. So her head is still underneath there, so it makes it very difficult for Hannah to actually start like standing up. Right? That downward pressure on the neck tends to be like one of the easiest ways to prevent someone from standing, because if you can bend the spine just by pushing the head forward, it makes it so there's so much force on the neck that a person won't really want to try and stand up in that situation. So I didn't see the ref give her any advantages or any points. I guess I didn't really switch positions because Hannah is not on her back. So let's go back there. I'm going halfway, yeah. I'm going half speed. So yeah, she grabs the outside of the knee here. I should have been going half speed. Yeah, so she grabs the pants there to really start controlling that side, and we already saw her try and pull that leg over, but this time she grabs lower down on the knee. Alright, she realizes that she's not going to be able to like stand Hannah up, right? And it's probably not going to be a good idea for Hope to actually stand up in this situation. So she starts attacking one side, grabs with her left arm right around the knee. You can see she's trying to drive that weight towards her right side as that turn. The more she can turn, the more weight she can actually drive on that side. There, she might be, that's probably her hand. No, that's not her hand. So I imagine she's either trying to go for the elbow or the cross lapel to try and turn the shoulders. So right there. No, yeah. So she grabs the lapel, tries to unwind it, but lets that go. Grabs around the knee again, but finds that she won't be able to exert enough force to be able to pull her to the side. So she grabs right around the ankle, bends the ankle, and now completely flattens her out. Hannah realizes this and tries to get up right away, but she hasn't done anything to prevent Hope from actually doing the same thing over and over again. I'm gonna just turn this down a bit more. Oopsie. Where were we? I got too excited there. There we go. There we go. So you see she pulled it over, and now Hannah's on her side. Still grabbing on with one arm. So that's the only thing that's really saving her in this position. But you can see now that the hips are turned away from Hope here, right? Hannah has to get back up onto her knees, but Hope sees that prevents the knees from establishing any sort of base. All she needs to do is pull it, just like she's doing, push. It's actually more of a push in this situation. And then, yeah, make sure that knee doesn't start coming underneath Hannah's hips. So good control here. She knew, like, this strange position where you can just end up controlling someone. Still no points, it seems like. Oh, she got her leg. Oh. Yeah. So she's basing out just so she doesn't get turned around, and she gets her leg right underneath the armpit, and I guess she's trying to not really cross her legs, but make sure Hannah doesn't escape any sort of way. So she puts her leg there as like a base. Now I imagine she's gonna do the same thing, grabbing the foot, trying to either grab this knee, but it looks like more the opposite knee, like the far knee here, Hannah's left knee, to try and turn her to her side again. Hannah no longer has any grips, it seems like. She's just in a turtle position. Yeah, she looked at the ref for a second, saying, like, trying to get the ref to give Hannah a warning, I guess. Because I don't see her, I don't see her coach in the back there, so I don't see anybody talking to her in the back, behind the barricades. So yeah, she looks up at the ref. Boom. Oh, nice. So how'd she turn that there? So you can see that foot. I'll go at half speed. So you can see that foot as Hope brings that right leg back towards Hannah's right side. Right. Hope is going to underhook, sort of hook that right leg with her left foot. So you can see Hannah knows this. She's trying to prevent it. She gets her knee in. The lift of the knee actually gives Hope that position. And this can be kind of close to a crucifix position, but the crucifix is actually when you have both legs controlling the one arm, so it's extended out like this. Right now I can only imagine that it's only one of Hope's legs that is actually trying to control this shoulder and essentially this arm, but this one is going to be the one that helps her out quite a bit. And because she has her body across Hannah's back and is grabbing the lapel, it's going to make the turn we saw a bit later a lot stronger. Boom. Yeah. So now she's going to pull her back up towards her. Boom. Gets that right foot around the head. Can still be in a dangerous position here because even if you only have one leg over the top, a person can escape. So she tried to go lock her feet together for maybe a triangle, and now we see more of that crucifix position. You saw this kind of position in the Mackenzie Dern and the Michelle Nicolini match, but Mackenzie Dern actually had a omoplata lock at the same time when she was like across the back. She's driving forward to take the back, and there we go. Points there. So let's see what the ref does with his hand. So that's a signal for an advantage. That's not points. Normally they'd hold up their fingers to actually give points. That's one advantage. And then there we go. I guess 4 points. Yeah, I can't really see his fingers, but he's probably saying 4 points. Or maybe 2 points for switching. I'm not sure. I can't see his fingers. But anyways, she's in that top quarter guard position, trying to do well to like isolate that forearm. Maybe actually expose Hannah's back a bit more and roll back. So you can see she's trying to drive forward. Don't really know what kind of grip she has here in this position. She's grabbing hands. You stop and reset them back. So yeah, one of the only things that's saving Hannah is trapping that leg before. We normally call this a top quarter guard. It's a very difficult position to deal with just because you're betting on stopping that leg from going forward and stopping that knee from driving forward. So you're just trying to hold on for that bottom part, that ankle for dear life. But you can see she's already giving up her back. So it's almost like 95% into Hope getting into mount already. So yeah, she's got to do something else. She's got to try and turn her hips back towards the right side to try and keep Hope in front of her. Maybe a roll, maybe a Gambi roll to try and get her hips back in place. But Hope is doing just such a good job of driving pressure forward that she's not giving Hannah any space. You can see there, Hope was trying to pull the gi a little bit more to probably use it somehow. Boom, and now she climbed up higher towards the back. I think she's trying to attack that forearm, is what it seems like. Oh no, that's her hair. So now we can see the position established a bit more. So you can see how that knee is driving forward, right? Hannah's trying to use her frames to make sure that knee doesn't come forward as with her thighs also pinching that ankle. Making her Hope doesn't get any sort of grip with that, any grip near her head with that arm. but she does get it near the collar there. That shoulder pressure is insane too. Because the elbow is up, there's not a lot that there's not a lot of power that you can just gain from pulling that elbow down, right? So Hope's shoulder pressure is what's keeping this elbow up and making it super difficult for Hannah to actually start turning back in towards her. She's already over top of her hips too, so I can only see it as a matter of time when she gets mount. Yeah, she's trying to dig that elbow right into the neck. She gets it underneath the shoulders now. And still relentless with that pressure. Trying to keep that hand away from her. So you can see once Hannah has her elbow exposed, it's very difficult to actually maintain the position. So it looks like Hope's really trying to fight to get that elbow up and get her shoulder underneath her armpit. Almost bucks her off. Up a bit more. Yeah. Two. Yeah, so you can see like Hope is turning her head from side to side. That's just a simple tactic that you can do to try and find space to get your shoulder underneath the elbow in this position. So once the elbow extends, there's a little bit of space that you can drive in underneath the elbow with your shoulder, or maybe your hand. But you can see for at least the last 30 seconds, Hannah's been trying to really track that hand and make sure it doesn't go underneath and grab her collar up high like before. Try to push. Yeah, you can see Hannah trying to turn her hips now to try and turn back in towards Hope, but it's kind of too late already. No, yeah, there it is. And there we go. The winner of the lightweight match is Hope Douglas. So yeah, that was from the Houston Open about 2 weeks ago. The video was on June 13th. So yeah, if you guys have a chance, please check out that video live so you can see it in real time. Also, I believe they're also doing a live stream now of Fipora. Let's see here. Floripa Winter International Open. So I'm not sure where this is from. They have 3. Yeah, it looks like they have 2, 4, 6, 8 mats going on at the moment. So yeah, you can see there. So yeah, if you want to check out more jiu-jitsu matches. You'll have to check out the IBJJF brackets and see what mats they're on, and then check out the matches on that individual stream. But anyways, I hope you guys have a good day. I'll probably try and do another one next week if all goes well. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you again next week, and also thank you for the new subscribers that have joined me in the past little bit. So I think I went from around 200 to the last 23 people. Thank you very much. Hopefully you like this kind of breakdown content, so that you learn a little bit more and then go back to the gym a little bit smarter and try and pull off these moves while you're in the gym. So yeah, that's gonna be it for me. I'm gonna leave you